Yesterday, I messed up pretty bad, really bad. It was stupid. In the last 6 months, I've made a pretty big transformation, and messing up could be a really bad thing, or it could have been exactly what I needed right now. Let me tell you why. Hi, my name is Coach Bruce, and I'm a life coach for ADHD parents. The way I messed up isn't as important as how I reacted after I messed up. I'll give a brief explanation. I used to lie. If I messed up anything, my default was to lie about everything. I was raised in a home where telling the truth wasn't really as highly prized as we pretended like it was. Telling the truth meant that you were going to get just blanketed with shame, guilt, fear, regret. Like you were not going to feel good when you told the truth. Not because the truth felt bad, but because it was not important to my parents what the truth was. They just wanted to believe that I would obey. That's it. Well, the way that carried into my adulthood was an extreme aversion to telling the truth. I just wanted to be accepted. I just wanted to be loved. And anytime the truth would get me something possibly besides that, I wouldn't want to tell it. So, background, the way I fucked up is something that I had done in the past. I used to go through these phases of, I'll call it serial obsession, where I would be hyper focused on some unhealthy thing, either going to the gym for 3+ hours a day, which is not the worst one ever, or in this case, spending hours a week going from scrolling Instagram, being triggered by some scantily clad woman doing some interesting thing, and then chasing down the rabbit hole of going down her page or finding similar videos until eventually it led to Pornhub and the finish. That feels gross to me now. I guess being honest, it felt gross to me then, but I didn't live in honesty. I didn't tell the truth. I lied to myself. So I said, this is okay. This is what men do. This is how men get release. Men who hide, yeah, they do that. Men who are afraid to unpack their emotions and deal with the truth of what they're living in, they do that. The reason why I got to this position to where I didn't do all of that yesterday, all I did was watch a video that triggered me. I watched the video. Just a regular, quote unquote, funny, entertaining Facebook video. And most people could watch this and say there's nothing wrong with this. I felt wrong watching it. And that's how I know it was wrong. But I watched it anyways. I didn't chase down the rabbit hole. It didn't evolve into anything else, but I knew that I had disrespected my marriage and the understanding that we have, and I disrespected myself because that's somewhere I don't want to go anymore. That's a place where I feel unhealthy. That's a place where I feel like I'm shrinking instead of growing. And I am going through a huge transition in my life right now. We're selling our house, we're moving across the country. We are spending a lot of time in the car together, and Kate and I, we're not connecting intimately like I would like to be. But none of that is an excuse to not show up the way I promised myself I would show up. So I I don't want anybody to come and defend me as like, oh well, it's normal, bro. I don't care what's normal. I don't want to be normal. I want to be the best version of me. And the best version of me doesn't partake in the types of things that will slid me down the slippery slope of obsession. So the way I reacted once I realized, like initially it happened, I felt kind of gross, but I didn't follow down the rabbit hole, which is how I know that I've gone wrong generally. I go down the rabbit hole and scroll some videos and look for more smut basically. I didn't do that. I went on about my business. I filmed my live video yesterday, and I generally kind of forgot about it until about 3 o'clock in the morning. I woke up in a sweat and was like, ugh, I felt gross. I'm guessing I had some sort of dream that I didn't really remember, but it was tied to that thing. It was my impulse is telling me, bro, you need to come clean. So I sent my wife a text message. She wasn't sleeping next to me because she fallen asleep with the other room, fallen to sleep in the other room with the girls, and I needed to make sure that before I lost my chutzpah, my courage to tell the truth, I just got it out there. I just went ahead and shared this fuck up that I had with my wife, the person who I choose to be held accountable to. Like I hold myself. Ah, well, I have no idea where that went wrong. That is really crappy. Never had that happen before. Uh, all right, so I guess I'm taking it back from the top. Ooh, I screwed up. Man, this is a lot. I guess the Facebook video kept going. So let me just wrap up the end of the story and I'll take the best of it. I'd gotten, I don't know, hold on. Let's see how much I got recorded. Bear with me, all of my non viewers. Oh, man, this is so jacked up. So, anyways, I don't know where it ended. It's uploading the rest of the video right now. No idea how much time it was. That's very frustrating. Working on other people's Wi-Fi is not ideal. I don't get me wrong, traveling, fun, love it. I do love traveling, but this working online thing is not always as fun as you think it is. And I just have no idea how much. Just want to know how long this is. All right, we're going to end and start again. Wait, no, there it is. I think. All right, ending and starting again. Uh, YouTube, we're just going to stay live on YouTube because nobody watches it anyways. I just hope it doesn't die again. All right, whatever. We're recording again. Let's do it. All right. Yesterday I messed up, and today the Wi-Fi messed up. So I don't know how much of this recorded already, but fuck it, let's run it back. Um, I made a huge mistake, but I think it might have been the best thing I've done in a while. Let me tell you why. My name is Coach Bruce, and I'm a life coach for ADHD parents. I I fucked up. I did something I haven't done in a while, a habit of mine that I used to do where I'd fall into an obsession. Like I was serial, I was a serially obsessed. I'd go from being obsessed with going to the gym for 3 hours and getting every possible bit of energy I could out of the gym, or being obsessed with driving around for long periods of time, just scouting for local girls just out in the neighborhood, just looking around, like being a creep, or spending time online, scrolling social media, looking for something funny. That's how it would start. I'd look for something funny, and in these funny quote unquote videos, there'd be some half naked girl doing something interesting. And from that point, the shame spiral would start. It would start with that funny video, which would trigger me sexually somehow, and would send me down a rabbit hole of searching said person's profile or finding similar videos until at some point I'd had enough of that and it carried over into Pornhub to finish the job. This is not a proud thing to talk about. It feels disgusting now. And like to be honest, it felt disgusting then too, but I wasn't willing to talk about that. I had told myself the lie that this is okay. This is what men do. This is how we relieve the pressure of being a man. You just bury yourself in other people's stories so you can hide from your own. I don't want to be that person anymore. I haven't been that person for a while now. But yesterday, I entered into a space that made me feel uncomfortable. I was going about my business, and life has been really stressful. We're in the midst of a cross country move. We're selling our house. We're moving in a car, in a van with four kids, two dogs, and a cat. I'm not like life is stressful. It doesn't mean it's an excuse, but it's just the facts. So, whenever you are stressed, that is the time when you need to be the most vigilant about your character. And I wasn't. I let my guard down last night, and a Facebook video popped up that triggered me. It was something that I clearly felt sexual about. And instead of swiping away, I watched the whole video. And for a lot of people, that means nothing. For me, it means everything. It means that I compromised on what I had been committed to. It means that I disrespected my relationship with my wife. I disrespected my relationship with God, and I disrespected the goals I have for myself. It wasn't that bad per se, but for me, it was very bad. It felt gross. I didn't realize it at the time that I had crossed this line because it was just watching a video. It was a funny video. I had already started to tell myself the lie, it's okay again. It's a very dangerous space. I'm a great liar. I guess I believed it initially. I started to fall into the lie already until I went to sleep and I woke up about 3 o'clock in the morning. I had had a dream that I couldn't really remember, but I had the urge in my heart. I had the impulse that I needed to tell Kate the truth now, like at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I sent her a text message because she wasn't sleeping next to me. She was in the other room with the girls, and I just sent her a message and let her know everything that had happened. This is where I've definitely changed. I couldn't tell the truth before. I was a just what's the word? The people who just lie about everything all the time. Um, One of those people. I just totally blanked on it, but I just couldn't tell the truth. And whenever stuff like this would happen, instead of owning up to making a mistake, getting off track on what I want for my life, and being willing to have a conversation about how we can come back together from that, I would just either pretend it didn't happen until I got caught, or I would lie to myself and then force the issue that this is okay. I would convince myself that this was a normal pattern of behavior for men of my age. And then I would use that to gaslight my wife and say, you know what, you need to be more, you need to have better self confidence. It's not my fault that you feel jealous of people on the internet. And I honestly believed that that was okay. I had lied to myself that good. And it wasn't because I wanted to make her feel bad. It's because I wanted to escape the emotions that I needed to deal with. It was all about escapism. It was all about suppression and distraction. And in just the simple act of telling the truth to myself now, I no longer try to avoid those emotions. I want to engage with them. I want to learn from them. I want to stop shrinking and being prisoner to my emotions. I want to know what they mean. I want to find out who I'm supposed to be and all the things that I was told I wasn't supposed to trust about myself, what they're actually trying to tell me. What I was trying to tell myself right now is that I've been distracted. There's been a lot going on, and I have not been paying enough attention to where my mindset is at. On a daily basis, I do things to get myself in a position of power, and I'm pretty good about it. But as I've been on the road, moving multiple days, or traveling multiple days in the car, it's hard to get it all done in the kind of fashion I usually do that makes me feel really protected and powerful. And then with all that stress, the lack of connection with my wife, I was in a vulnerable place. And this was me finding out how vulnerable I was. I'm proud of myself for not going down the rabbit hole. I'm proud of myself for this not being a shame story in which I went right back into my old pattern. This was me getting triggered and not reacting immediately, but this was far and away a much better reaction to what I've done in the past. And then to tell the truth unprompted to my wife, damn the consequences, knowing that it's going to hurt her feelings, but lying to her will hurt more. I'm proud of myself. And I'm cognizant of the fact I did something wrong, and I'm apologetic of that. But I'm not going to sit here and beat myself up about it, because the trauma that I've created in the past from beating myself up for my mistakes has just caused me to make more mistakes. In order to grow, you have to recognize your problems, recognize your errors, learn from them, and move forward. You cannot get stuck in the times that you've messed up, because then you will be doomed to repeat them. You have to let it go to grab the new thing. And so with this, I'm trying to let it go because I I didn't let it get very far. It hasn't been a complete abusal of trust, but it is something that we had to have a conversation about. And it wasn't the most comfortable conversation, but I'm glad that we had it. And I'm glad that I was able to correct my behavior and not believe that lie of it's okay to do this, because I know what my truth is. I know who I want to be now, and I know what actions don't line up with that. And whenever you have a compelling vision of who you're trying to grow to, it allows you to check your actions against that compelling vision and say, is this who I want to be? And that action is not it, period. It doesn't have it doesn't have to do with how other people feel or what the status quo says. It's you checking yourself against your own measurement stick and allowing you to decide, is this what I want for myself? That's powerful. That is how real change is made. That's how you have a compelling future that drives you forward and allows you to stay interested, even as an ADHD adult. It's what got me going. I have ADHD, and I've been able to keep coming back and checking myself against this yardstick. Do I make mistakes? Yes. The thing that has changed is I don't get stuck in it anymore, and I have somewhere to course correct back to. And that is so important. And if you are interested in being able to course correct yourself, to stop living on accident and start trying to drive yourself to an active destination for a future that excites you, throw me in the comments, throw a fire in the comments, and let's have a conversation, because there is more out there for you, and I can help you get it. Just like I'm getting it for myself, just like I'm living my life. Doesn't mean that there aren't hard times and mistakes, but there is growth out there for all of us. And I would love to help you get it. That's it for today. Bye, guys.